Put your hands in the air like you just don't care. Put your hands in the air like you just don't care. Ladies, gentlemen, fellas, wake up. Take a nice deep breath in and exhale, because today it's just a 5-game slate in the NBA. And there's not that many great national calendar days, but we do have National Medal of Honor Day. Sorry, National Medal of Honor Day. So you can celebrate that when you can watch the movie, if you will. Hopefully you're having a beautiful, beautiful day. And hopefully you got through that 11-game slate. The Harden news came out. Everybody in the Discord was scrambling with about 10 minutes to go. We had it all updated. It was everybody all over the place, right? You got Elias Johnson making his debut for the Nets, scoring 50-plus DK points. People didn't even know who he was up until that point. But now, again, exhale. The light and the load, the 5-game slate, it is much better now. It is way much better now for your mental state on this day. It's going to be 80-plus degrees, 85-plus degrees where I'm at today. So, your boy's looking to tan. Your boy's looking to have a fun time with this 5-game slate, but, not worrying about, oh, my God, we're going to have to track 12 more teams and 120 more players based on injury news and changes. Drop them all. All those 120 players on these shoulders, they just jumped off because, bam, we only got 10 teams to be messing with today. We're going to hit you with the injury news very quick, and then we're going to hit you with the top 12 plays as of right now. I got it all projected out. I got all the SuperDraft projections done, all the DraftKings projections done. Of course, we'll update them like we normally do. I saw a bunch of people, about 10 more people, hopped onto Patreon yesterday. A bunch of people got into the Discord. This community, we can feel it. We can feel it if you're a fellow Patreon in there right now. It's growing. It's getting more strong. That's not proper English. What are you doing? A nice guy like you with a nice polo button up, a slick fade on your head, a slick Rick fade right now on your head, and you're going to be talking like that. It's getting stronger, much stronger in there. The La Familia, we're all in there right now. So this morning, some people winning even more Dollaruskis, $1,200 more bucks on SuperDraft. You love to see it. DraftKings, Prize Picks, you love to see all of this. You love to see all the partners and all the people in the community feeling real good. So while you're here right now, like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. The slate starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern, so we will be live at 5 p.m. East Coast time tonight. You're not going to want to miss it. So again, double check for me right now that you have that notification bell hit, and the big one, the subscribe button tapped, as we continue to grow this community. The injury news today: Serge Ibaka remains out, so fire it right back up for Ivica Zubac, who continues to play big minutes, and they're on a back-to-back today. Rudy Gay missed yesterday, questionable. We have Anthony Simons is questionable today. That won't really be a big impact, right? With CJ McCollum back, it'll be like a couple of minutes if he does play. Goran Dragic is going to be questionable. Steph Curry is out, but his brother Seth Curry questionable for the 76ers today. Also for the 76ers, questionable today is going to be Danny Green. Avery Bradley is questionable for Miami today. Marcus All has not been playing, questionable. Derrick Rose ended up missing that last game for conditioning reasons, coming back from COVID, I believe. He is questionable. And Lonnie Walker, also questionable after missing the last game with his teammate Rudy Gay from the Spurs. There it is. There's the injury news for you. Let's start off with the top 12 plays of the day. $6,700 on this 5-game slate. Andrew Wiggins can start it off for us. And to talk about Andrew Wiggins, we could pull up Add More Funds right here, where I have Andrew Wiggins highlighted as of right now. And this is with Steph Curry off the court. Andrew Wiggins has been shooting terribly, just dog shit, 49%. But the things that you do see is that he starts to average over a 26% usage rate. He starts to average over a fantasy point per minute in this time. The assist percentage even comes up to about 15%. So those numbers are good, and the minutes have been pretty solid for Andrew Wiggins lately. So today I'm projecting Andrew Wiggins for 1.04 fantasy points per minute, and I'm giving him, as it stands, a 34-minute projection today. The problem is that this is not secure, and I have that written in the notes. His fantasy point projection is not as secure or as sturdy, if you will, as some other guys, because Andrew Wiggins is going to rely on shooting. Andrew Wiggins is not going to be somebody all that much that gets the massive assist percentages, right? Jordan Poole has been seeing that. The nice thing is that he's shooting guard and small forward eligible, and he's going to get a lot of shot attempts. So on a 5-game slate, there's not many guys that you can rely on to shoot 15 times or so today, but the problem is the peripheral stats aren't there as much. Just look at the last game. In the last game, he ends up making 6 of his 15 shots. Not terrible, but he only scores 17.5 fantasy points because he has 2 rebounds and an assist. That's going to happen with Andrew Wiggins, who's a traditional shooting guard / small forward. You're going to be needing Wiggins to real life probably score you 20+ points for him to be in a winning lineup on DraftKings, unless he pops off for assists, steals, blocks, all that type of stuff. The number 11 play in the day is Robert Covington, and if Nasir Little, who is questionable today, he ended up going from being out, him and Anthony Simons upgraded to questionable today. If he was to play, I give Robert Covington a lot of minutes. Now, Little is just a guy who will pick up, teens in minutes, 10 minutes here or there. But if he's out, Robert Covington, we saw this literally a week or two ago for a month straight when these guys were out, not much depth at the power forward spot. Robert Covington was playing 38 minutes a game, right? Now, lately it hasn't been that high, but it has been around 35, 36. If indeed Little schedule is out, I feel very confident in projecting Robert Covington for 35 plus minutes. I currently have Robert Covington, I believe, projected for 38 minutes of play today. And even with CJ McCollum back and only averaging like 0.8 fantasy points per minute this season, the price point of $5,700 on a smaller slate makes Mr. Robert Covington himself a number 11 play on the day for me. Inside the top 10 we go, and it is his teammate. It is that man who's back. Big, bad CJ McCollum. 38 minutes yesterday. Now it is a back-to-back for a guy who was out for a while with an injury. Do they rest him today? Do they limit his minutes? Oh, if we don't get news, I'm not going to be projecting it that way after he played 38 minutes yesterday. The game before that, he played 30 minutes, but it blew out, so he was going to play about 36 plus. The minutes have been back for CJ McCollum a lot longer, and if you're in the Discord, if you're in the projections, if you're in these videos and podcasts, you know that. You know that we've been on this. We've been on this right now for CJ McCollum. A man who's averaging 1.23 fantasy points per minute. I'm not going to give him that high of a fantasy point per minute rate on the season, but I will give him decent minutes. Yesterday, people might not go back to him today because he only shot 26% and he let people down in 38 minutes. If McCollum shot 50% yesterday, 55, 60% yesterday, right, closer to his season averages, he would have popped off for you, and a lot of people would have want to played him today. At 7,200, we might still be able to, even on a 5-game slate, not get him at massive ownership, even though I believe, unless news comes out, the minutes will definitely be there for him. And now as we get inside the top 10 plays on the day, I do want to let you know about the sponsor of the show, and they're back. We got the polo on right now. The nice Nike polo that they sent your boy to go with this slick Rick fade. And if you're not listening on, or if you're listening on the podcast, you're not on the YouTube version, that's fine. How those earballs doing. But man, you are not seeing these big old side fades right now. This haircut is oof. Just come over to the YouTube video. Just come over to the stream later today. Treat yourself. But the sponsor of the show is SuperDraft, and I have up on the screen right now on the YouTube version is basically their contest. So you have the 4K contest, the 2K, the 1K. I like that they're doing more offerings instead of just putting like a 1 or a 10K contest up top and not having much in the other contests. You're seeing it be a little bit better now, right? So you have 3 contests with $1,000+, the $4,000. Yesterday I was tracking it. I think it only filled at around 85, 86% these contests. So the narrative remains with SuperDraft. There's a couple reasons to play over there, right? And I encourage you to sign up. We have projections. I can talk about my top projected play today is actually going to be this man right here. Let's pop him up on the screen. It's going to be De'Aaron Fox right here, my top projected SuperDraft play. We can talk about some other options as well. But, and this is a big old booty, the reason to be playing over there. 2 reasons. Ready? Reason number 1. If you deposit using my name, Sal, S-A-L, $25 or more, bam, they'll give you $25 in your account. So you want to try it out? You want to put $25 in? Bam, you just got a $25 match right there. No questions asked. You got it right there. And we have made a deal that every single month for a big event, we will be giving away to my group specifically some things like Caesar rewards, travel credits, and things like that. So some very cool things are going to be coming with this new and improved partnership that we're able to lay out. And number 2, and this is the big one. This is the big one here, right? That's cool. Free money, free perks. That's all fun, right? That's a lot of entertainment. But actually winning more money on the site. Number 2, the contests only fill at like 80 to 85%. Some contests at certain sports, 60, 70%. What does that mean? If a contest only fills at 80%, you automatically are beating 20% of the field by entering a lineup because those guys, nobody entered lineups into there, right? So the site has to actually fill those. So basically view it as those lineups getting zeros. So if there's 100 people in a contest on DraftKings and it fills at 100%, you're all playing for it. All 100 people, right? You got 1% chance of winning. If there's 100 people on SuperDraft and only 75 people are in there, you have now just beat by just entering a lineup, doing nothing, no skills needed, just entering a lineup. It could be the worst lineup in there, but just by getting 1 point in that lineup, you just beat 25% of the field. So be sure to check it out. There's massive upside here. Be sure to check out the NBA Jump Shop today at $4,000. Their NBA Super 8 at $2,000 entry, and all the other contests. We've been crushing it. J-Dot just won another $1,200 in the Discord off of the projections. Be sure we have the tools to help you out on SuperDraft. That promo code SAL and the link in the description below will take you over there. SAL, S-A-L, lets them know that you came from me and get you those dollar bills, y'all. The number 9 play today is Dwight Howard. And here's the thing with Dwight Howard. He's just cheaper, right? The minutes are the thing that does scare me. But we've been seeing 30-plus minutes in back-to-back games just last week alone. I have him at 26 minutes today, and he's a 1.15 fantasy point per minute producer today. The game total, 108, or the team total, 108.25 is fine. Probably around an average pace spot today. Gets to go up against Montrezl Harrell, who is by no means, and maybe the ghost of Marcus Gasol if he finally returns, who are by no means defensive stalwarts. I have him for 28.72 fantasy points. So I like this. Now our number 8 play in the day, and this is where people are going to pull their hair out. Sal, this fucking guy again. Paul George. We said it yesterday, this fucking guy again. And then he doesn't come through for you. He has a snowflake by his name. But come on. All right. Hey. Let's make a deal here. If you do not want to play Paul George, this is the deal. That is completely fine. This is your lineup. It's your money. I'm just trying to give you some advice. But hey, the Clippers won by 30-plus points yesterday. It was a blowout. The game before that, they got blown out. So Paul George's price is now $7,800. It's getting even cheaper for him to pay off for you. At 37 fantasy points, he's killing it for you or breaking even for you on a 5-game slate. But here's the thing. Paul George starts the game, and in the first half yesterday plays 20 and a half minutes. 20.5 minutes in the first half, right? My man's on pace to play 40 minutes, 38 minutes, and if the second half doesn't go well. Now, in the second half, they blow the doors off of this team. So Paul George only ends up playing in this game, I say only 33 minutes, right? After playing 20.5 minutes in the first half. He would have played 38 minutes in this game, so he loses out on about 5 minutes of play. Paul George also shot 0 of 6 from three-pointers in this game, 8 of 16 overall. So he had decent peripheral stats, right? You would like to see maybe a couple more rebounds and an assist more or two. But the fact that he shot 0 of 6 from 3, loses out on 5 minutes or so in this game, can we just get a competitive game? Can we get a game to stay close where he can play 36 to 38 minutes and average his 1.2 fantasy points per minute? And at that rate, he's going to be scoring 45 fantasy points for us and absolutely dominating the slate. I get it. You probably have a sour taste in your mouth if you've been playing Paul George. I personally, I care about the people, the community, especially the people on Patreon, the people who are subscribers to the channel. If you're a freeloader and you're just coming through to the podcast and not subscribe, just coming through to the YouTube channel and not subscribe, give your head a shake. What are you doing? Come on. Support the community, and even in the freeways. Support the community right there is all we ask here. But Paul George, if you don't want to play him, now that he's $7,800, if that's going to lower his ownership on a 5-game slate because he's had 2 games where, sure, he shot poorly in this past game, and the game before that, it also blew out and he lost 5 minutes in each of these last 2 games. That's why you don't, we can build the narrative to why he's not getting there. But as of right now, I'm going to get back to Paul George, a 113.75 team implied total, an average to an above average pace spot, and a good matchup against San Antonio today. The number 7 play in the day is just a laughable price is what my note says. Look, $6,600 Cantor. He comes up $200 today. He's going to close the game out against Miami. It is definitely a tougher matchup against Bam Adebayo, but just because Bam Adebayo closes every single game that stays close and that he's not fouling out of for Miami, you're going to be seeing Enes Kanter stay out on the court as well. I have Kanter projected for 32 minutes today. I have him projecting to close this game out at around a 1.15 fantasy point per minute projection. I like it. He's our number 7 play in the day today. Kanter is just laughably underpriced. Kanter, once he gets back up to $7K or $7,200, will be appropriately priced. At $6,400, it was a joke. At this current price point where it stands right now, it's still way too cheap. On this slate, I currently have 11 yeses in a player pool, and I currently have an entire player pool of 39 guys for DraftKings. If you want to see my exact player pools for DraftKings for SuperDraft, where they rank, my overall ratings, the updates for the projections later on today, you can check all that out on Patreon down below. Again, if you have the means to and you want to be supporting and you've been watching these videos, listening to these podcasts for a while now, you want to come join the community, we have a Discord chat. We have a lineup optimizer that has a lot of advanced rules in it. We'll take your game to the next level, increase your chances of winning the dollar Rooskies, y'all, and all the other tools that we have over there. Come into the community that's getting stronger, that's getting even more exclusive every single day, even more perks and benefits. It's linked down below. And if you're freeloading out there right now, at least hit the motherfucking subscribe button. Come on, what you doing? But Kanter, number 7 play in the day. Moving down now to the number 6 play in the day, Montrezl Harrell. And the thing with Montrezl Harrell is that he's too cheap. Now, a couple games back when LeBron first got hurt, Harrell, as you can see right here, plays the second most minutes with AD and LeBron off the court. I'm going to add more funds, free tool down below. So he was averaging like 1.34 fantasy points per minute, but now he's getting a bigger minute sample, so it's come down, and I say with jokingly, it's come down to 1.26. So I've been projected at 1.2 fantasy points per minute today, and that might be too low. He leads this team in usage, right? He's a center, he's a big, he's more so a power forward who can move around. He's versatile on offense. He has a 27.4% usage rate and a 1.26 fantasy point per minute projection number. He's averaging around a 20% defensive rebounding rate, 19.3 to be exact. From what my projections are telling me right now, Montrezl Harrell should be around $7,600 to $7,700. He's $7,000 flat. He's massively underpriced at this point, and I'm hoping that the sticker shock at $7K, some other really good value options today, like a Dwight Howard at center, like an Enes Kanter, like some other potential centers we'll talk about in the top 5. I hope that keeps his ownership neutral or a little bit lower. At a 1.2 fantasy point per minute projection and 34 minutes today in my projection for him, 37.53 fantasy points is our number 6 overall rated play of the day. To the top 5 we go, another center. So another center that can completely just balance out the ownership here. If one of these guys picks up massive ownership, sure, maybe they're worth it. Maybe because of price they're worth it. But look at all the centers. We have 4 centers right now out of the 7 guys we've talked about so far. So if it's Dwight Howard picking up a lot of ownership, pivot to James Wiseman. James Wiseman, my top center that we've talked about so far, the number 5 overall play, and this is why. The minutes are up, baby. 23, then 26, then 28 minutes in the last 3 games. They can continue to come up. So he's going to get 30 today? Well, I hope so. I'll be playing a lot of him, but I'm only projecting him for 25 minutes today, but that's still enough. At over a fantasy point per minute producer, well over it at 1.06, at a really nice team total against Sacramento today. Expect a slower pace game, but a 110.5 team implied total going up against Rashawn Holmes, who has improved as a defensive center since his days in Philadelphia, but he's by no means anything fantastic. Going up against Hassan Whiteside for a couple minutes in this game, by no means a scary man on defense. He'll go for blocks, and that's about it from a defensive standpoint. 25-minute projection for James Wiseman, the rookie today, at $4,800 looks insanely beneficial. Our number 4 overall play on the day today, his teammate Kelly Oubre. Look, people are questioning me, right? They were like, Sal, why do you like Kelly Oubre so much? Why is he one of like your 12 yeses on the slate 2 days ago? Because I'm not just looking at recency bias, because I'm actually taking into account all the information. They're ramping back up his minutes. His minutes are 36 to 38, basically before this injury happened. Steph Curry is not out there. He's going to average closer to 1.1 fantasy point per minute without Steph Curry out there. Now, do I think he has a double-double from a rebounding standpoint like the last time out there? Honestly, no. Do I think he can have 10 rebounds again? Sure. But do I think he's going to get a double-double today? No. If I had to tell you gun to my head, I wouldn't. Now take that gun away. Hey. I'm 100% Italian from New York City. We got some connections going on here. Take that gun away. Otherwise, I'll call, literally, I don't even have to joke about this one, my uncle and my cousin Louie, and they'll take you out back and they'll show you a nice, good old time. Quotations on that nice. Quotations on that good. Anyways, now, Kelly Oubre, I still like him. The minutes are up, and I'm expecting them to stay up, and the price didn't change. So if I'm expecting Kelly Oubre, like he did last time out, to play that 35 minutes or so, if I'm expecting him to play 33 plus minutes today, if I'm expecting him to average over a fantasy point per minute, right, and start to project out for me where he currently stands right now, as of right now, I have him for 33.52, and I think that's potentially low if he plays 36 minutes today. I think he's going to start to project out for closer to 35, 36 fantasy points. Into the top three we go. The number 3 play in the day is Tyrese Halburn. It's just so easy. They're not changing his price point. Okay, Salah came up to like $200 to $6,000 flat. But boy, oh boy, do I like this price tag. Back-to-back days, we've loved Tyrese Halburn. Back-to-back days, he's been playing like 36 minutes. I've got him projected for only 34 minutes today in the second night of a back-to-back. A guy who's been getting his conditioning and minutes up today. His minutes are all the way back now. He is shooting guard eligible, which is just comical, right? You're getting these guys who are point guard, shooting guard eligible. So you're going to get to put Tyrese Halburn, who's been playing very ball dominant, who has a massive assist percentage this year. Here's add more funds right now just to show you the assist percentage. We highlight Tyrese Halburn, a 23.7 assist percentage, averaging basically a fantasy point per game. And he's shooting 60.5 true shooting, which is just nuts. But 23.47% assist percentage, only behind De'Aaron Fox on this team. That assist percentage just gives him so much stability to what his projection is. I love Halburn. Halburn, to me, is if he stays healthy for the rest of the year, is going to win and should win, in my opinion, Rookie of the Year. LaMelo Ball now out. Anthony Edwards, sure, he's like a flash in the pan for the past week or so in terms of these dunks, in terms of getting a lot of shot attempts up, but he's very inefficient. He doesn't play defense at all. Halburn is more of the total package, if you will, and I think people are going to start to realize that. $6,000 Tyrese Halburn, my number 3 play in the day. He looks fantastic today on all formats, a 1.5x multiplier over on SuperDraft. He's not as appealing over there as he is on DraftKings, but even on SuperDraft today, Halburn for me grades out currently as my number 7 overall play. Top two, and he ain't 1, but he is 2, and it's going to be Mr. Jordan. Fill up your pool because it's going to be 85 plus degrees today, Sal. I don't got a pool. I'm at an apartment complex that's got a pool, and they've had it closed for a year and a half because of COVID, or a year or so because of COVID, and they've had the pool room closed because of that, right, in terms of actually playing the game of pool, and they've had the hangout room closed, and they've had the poker room closed, and they've had the TV room closed. I get it, COVID's a real thing, but can we just get one? Can I play one game of pool? Can I just play one game of pool? Can I do a cannonball one time before I end up leaving this place in a couple of months to move to the great state of Texas, where I'll actually get to be able to use the pool room that I pay like a $60 activities fee a month to be using the shit that I can't use? And when I try and dispute it, here we go, Desperate Housewives, I'm starting to get into the soap opera. And when I try and dispute it, they tell me, oh, it's in the contract. Motherfuckers, it's in the contract. Yeah, okay, you got it in the contract that I got to be paying the $60 a month. Let me get Louie. Let me get Uncle Louie and Cousin Louie, and they'll show you a quote-unquote nice, quote-unquote good time. But number 2, Jordan Poole today, giving him 34 minutes. He averages with Steph off the court 1.03 fantasy points per minute. I'm just projecting him at 1 fantasy point per minute today. Update that. I'm giving him 35 minutes today, but just ever so slightly. I have Jordan Poole at 34.9 points. I have Tyrese Halburn at 34.2. So these guys are literally just spitting images of each other today. If you prefer one to the other, go for it. If you want to play both of them, go for it. Our number 1 overall play now, here he is yet again. He was the number 1 overall play yesterday. Not a lot of things are changing. Deja vu for you. He scored 30 plus points yesterday, played 32 minutes. I'm projecting him for 32 minutes today. I'm projecting him to score 30 plus points at 33.15. Ivica Zubac yesterday, if we pull up the same popcorn machine as you saw for Paul George, could have even played bigger minutes. He played 32 and a half minutes, and he checks out right here. This is Ivica Zubac's number. He checks out. You can see in that top right number, Ivica Zubac stint 4. He checks out with 5 minutes and 39 seconds left. This number right here, he checks out with about 5 minutes and 39 seconds. So in this game, if he would have closed the entire game out, he would have played like 36, 37 minutes. He played 35 minutes in back-to-back games last week alone. Ivica Zubac is finally getting the minutes that we like to see, with Serge Ibaka out yet again. In the first half yesterday, Ivica Zubac ended up playing 17 and a half minutes. You rarely see that out of this guy in the past, right? When he was with the Lakers, when he was with the Clippers, you're lucky if you get 24, 25 minutes out of him. Now he's locked and loaded, over a fantasy point per minute producer. Ivica Zubac stands out as my number 4 overall SuperDraft play, my top center over there, and my number 1 overall rated play. The price point comes up just $100 since yesterday. Gets the matchup against San Antonio. No Aldridge. He's not going to be playing on that team anymore. Gets to go up against Drew Eubanks and Jakob Poole. A very fine matchup for Zubac today. I expect 30-plus minutes and 30-plus fantasy points. Now, as promised, currently my top 5 projected plays on SuperDraft, the presenting sponsor of the show. Be sure to check them out. We pull up right now their contest yet again today. These contests will not fill. Again, you use that code SAL. Take a second of your time. Go into the link right now in the description. SuperDraft's the link. Use the code SAL. You sign up. If you put $25 or more, bam, you get $25 right back into your account. You just got some free contests to enter. The contest tonight currently costs the big one $20 to get into, but the one with $2,000 to first costs only $8 to get into. So with your site credit alone, you can get into 3 of those $8 contests to potentially win $2,000. So that code SAL, S-A-L, lets them know what you came for me. And here is the information. De'Aaron Fox, number 1 play in the day. So Mr. De'Aaron Fox, number 1 play in the day for me right now in SuperDraft. Randall, number 2, Julius Randle. Number 3, his teammate RJ Barrett. Number 4, we said Ivica Zubac. And number 5, Russell Westbrook at a 1x multiplier. I normally don't play the 1x multiplier, guys. So if you wanted to throw him out, then the new number 5 play would be Bam Adebayo at a 1.25x multiplier. There's a lot of guys with a very similar 51 fantasy point projection for me. So we'll break it down even more today on the live stream at 5 p.m. to see which one of those guys on SuperDraft are your sneaky upside plays. The guys who have a lot of massive upside who can just bank you all these tournaments, and guys like J. Dot in the chat on Discord and some other people can flourish and start to win a lot more. So be sure to join the Discord by joining the Patreon, by joining the community. It's getting stronger by the day. We welcomed in a dozen or so new people yesterday. I can't wait to get even more people in there, especially as we start to get into the seasons of the NFL, where everybody's going to be in there jumping up and down, singing Kumbayas as our stacks go off. But for right now, we'll just find those diamonds in the rough for you and put together those top lineups, and even really the bigger thing that's underrated, talking about strategy, talking about, oh, this guy's highly owned. Oh, what type of contest should I be playing, right? All that type of stuff goes into it. That's all talked about in the Discord. Top 12 plays in the day are over. I'm out. Nice 5-game slate. Gonna chill out, relax, max, all cool with a nice warm weather today. Thank you, SuperDraft, for sponsoring the show. I'll see you all in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.